Have you ever noticed how some people can walk into a crowded room and instantly command respect and affection? You might assume they are naturally gifted, but they are often navigating the specific mechanics of human interaction that compel people to gravitate toward them. Today, we are detailing the Influence Blueprint, a four-step approach to navigate high-stakes conversations and build deeper connections by understanding how the brain actually processes social data. This approach is deeply rooted in the foundational insights of Dale Carnegie. He recognized that human beings are not primarily creatures of logic. We are creatures of emotion, driven by prejudice and motivated by a deep-seated need for personal importance. Before you can connect with others, you must recognize a cognitive trap known as the spotlight effect. When we walk into a room, we very often feel like absolutely everyone is judging our every move. In reality, that pressure is an illusion. Most people are completely absorbed in their own problems and their own lives. They aren't watching you because they are too busy watching themselves. Because everyone is seeking validation, the most effective path to magnetism is shifting your focus entirely outward. You gain influence the moment you make the other person feel important. Step 1 begins in the first few seconds of an encounter. When you meet someone for the first time, their brain is scanning for cues to build a complete story about who you are based on very little information. This triggers the halo effect. If you lead with an initial positive trait, the brain tends to assume your other qualities are positive as well, effectively coloring their entire perception of you. You can trigger this response with a warm, genuine smile. A smile serves as a subconscious signal of goodwill, telling the other person that you are happy to be in their presence. You then anchor that warmth by remembering their name. To lock it into your memory, try creating a vivid, outlandish associative story in your head the moment you hear it. To most people, their own name is the most important sound in any language. Failing to commit it to memory is a missed opportunity to establish an immediate psychological bond. By combining a smile with the use of their name, you create a positive halo. This ensures the other person interprets your future actions in a favorable light. As the conversation moves forward, step 2 focuses on the ego's need for an audience. We all have a fundamental desire to share our achievements and our stories. You facilitate this by letting the other person do the majority of the talking. When they present a problem, listening with an open mind often allows them to discover their own solution simply by having a space to voice it. While listening, you must offer appreciation, but it must be distinct from flattery. Flattery is often dismissed as manipulative because it is empty and insincere. Real appreciation identifies specific qualities you genuinely admire, making the validation feel earned. When you acknowledge the specific traits a person takes pride in, you fulfill a core emotional need. This makes them much more likely to look forward to your next interaction. Step 3 covers the mechanics of persuasion. You cannot persuade someone by focusing on what you want. You must focus on what motivates them. Theodore Roosevelt was a master of this preparation. Before hosting guests, he spent his evenings reading about the specific subjects he knew they were passionate about, ensuring the conversation revolved around their interests. We see a similar strategy with Gary Vaynerchuk. During interviews, he looks for a candidate's deepest desires, not just their skills, to understand what actually drives them. Once that desire is identified, he explains how the role serves their own goals. You are creating a scenario where their success and your objectives move in the same direction. Influence requires a shift in perspective. You serve your own interests by unselfishly helping others achieve what they value first. Persuasion becomes possible the moment you align your desired outcome with the other person's self-interest. Step 4 involves managing conflict. When a disagreement occurs, the strongest impulse is often to tell the other person they are wrong. Direct criticism is experienced as an attack on someone's intelligence. It triggers an immediate defensive mode, where the mind and body reject further input to protect the individual's sense of self-worth. To bypass this, use the Socratic method. Instead of highlighting differences, focus exclusively on common ground. Ask questions that lead to a series of agreements. Starting with a yes keeps the mind open and prevents the physical and mental tension that follows a rejection. If you are the one at fault, admitting the mistake immediately acts as a pressure release. It stops the conflict from escalating and often increases the respect others have for you. You can also motivate others without giving direct orders. Charles Schwab famously increased productivity in an underperforming factory by simply chalking a number on the floor to represent the day shift's output. This appealed to the workers' spirit of competition, leading them to outperform each other without any formal criticism from management. By favoring agreeable momentum and silent challenges over direct criticism, you maintain your influence while avoiding the resentment that kills long-term cooperation. The blueprint is now complete. You establish a halo, listen to the ego, align your interests with theirs, and diffuse conflict through agreement. There is a simple metric to gauge your success after any interaction. Look at how much the other person spoke. If you provided the space for them to lead the conversation, the blueprint is working. You don't need to master every step at once. Choose one specific habit, like memorizing names or looking for common ground during a disagreement, and practice it today. What is the one habit you are going to practice today to become a better listener? Tell us in the comments and subscribe to continue exploring the hidden psychology behind success. By approaching communication as a systematic focus on the importance of others, you can become the most magnetic person in any room. Thank you so much for watching Blueprint to Better.